You are listening to the Adult Sabbath School lessons for the third quarter of 2022. This is lesson number 7 of the Adult Sabbath School Bible Study Guide in the Crucible with Christ. The lesson is titled Indestructible Hope and is ready for teaching on August 13. The author is Pastor Gavin Anthony, who was conference president in Iceland when he wrote this series of lessons. Today, your lesson is read by Dr. Percy Harrold. Tuesday, August 9. Our Father's Presence. Isaiah 41 verse 13 reads, "For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you." Someone once said, when God seems far away, who is the one who is moved? When problems strike, we presume that God has deserted us. The truth is that he hasn't gone anywhere. God's presence seems very far away to the Jews in exile, yet through Isaiah, God assures them of future deliverance. However, while the actual return to Jerusalem was still many years in the future, God wanted his people to know that he had not moved away from them and that there was every reason for hope. Read Isaiah 41 verses 8 to 14. What reasons for hope can you identify for people waiting eagerly for future deliverance? How does this promise help us as we wait for our exile on earth to end? Isaiah 41, beginning at verse 8, "But you, Israel, are my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the descendants of Abraham, my friend. You, whom I have taken from the ends of the earth and called from its farthest regions, and said to you, you are my servant. I have chosen you and have not cast you away. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Behold, all those who were incensed against you shall be ashamed and disgraced. They shall be as nothing. And those who strive with you shall perish. You shall seek them and not find them. Those who contended with you, those who war against you shall be as nothing, as a non-existent thing. For I, the Lord your God, will hold your right hand, saying to you, fear not, I will help you. Fear not, you worm Jacob, you men of Israel, I will help you, says the Lord, and your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel." One of the most powerful images in these verses is found in verse 13. The sovereign God of the universe says that his people do not need to fear because he is the one who takes hold of your right hand. It is one thing to imagine God guiding events on earth from a big throne light years away from our earth, but it is an altogether different picture to realize that he is close enough to hold the hands of his dearly beloved people. When we are busy, it can be hard to remember that God is so close to us. But when we do remember that he is Emmanuel, God with us, it makes a difference, such a difference. When God's presence is with us, so are his purposes, his promises, and his transforming power. And so to finish the day, over the next few days, try an experiment. At every moment possible, try to remind yourself that the God of the universe is close enough to you to hold your hand and is personally promising you help. Keep a record of how this changes the way you live. Be prepared to discuss your experience in class on Sabbath. This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. Sponsored by the Sabbath School Department and distributed through Hope Channel Australia, this podcast is also redistributed by Hope Channel Germany, Christian Record Services for the Blind. It is also available on SoundCloud and through multiple podcast distributors, including Apple iTunes. And you can listen and watch at the same time on YouTube. Remember, God is always faithful.